do. This is the power of evaluation. This is the power of taking time to really see, is what I'm doing making sense? All right, guys. Hey, it is me, Sonya, back with another video. And this whole month we've been talking about flourishing and what we have to do to actually flourish in life, right? Because of course, Jeremiah 17:7-8 gives us some pointers on how to flourish, right? That if we're planted in his presence, planted in his word, and planted in his purposes, that we will actually see things happen. But even when we start to do that work, we're going to find that there's some other things that are preventing us from truly planting ourselves in those three areas of life. And this week, we're talking about the fact that even though we're doing all this work and doing all these things, we don't seem to be moving forward. We think we're planting things. We think that we're moving and growing and all that kind of stuff. But we seem to always be in the same spot. What is that? Well, guess what you got to do? You got to evaluate, all right? But let me break it down a little bit in this video. But of course, let me introduce myself first, okay? Hey guys, my name is Sonya of SonjaW Coaching, where we help overwhelmed, multi-passionate women learn how to acknowledge, live, execute, and win their dreams. We're all about making sure that women make their dreams meet reality here at SonjaW, and we do that through making sure that we're living intentionally. All right. So let's get down to it, right? You've been doing all these things and you just feel like your efforts have been in vain, right? You put together this plan. You were like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and it's going to get done in 3 months. And then 4 months pass and you haven't seen what you wanted to get done. Or maybe you're doing something and it just does not seem to be progressing in the way that you thought it should. Well, maybe it's because you need to evaluate. I love what it says in Luke 14 when it talks about counting the cost, because a good person, not a good person, but a wise person, always make sure that they count the cost before they start anything, right? And what in the world does that mean? Let me first read Luke 14. So I love these verses. Luke 14:28-30. It says, "For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all those who see it begin to mock him, saying, 'This man began to build and wasn't able to finish.'" Now, can you imagine? Has that ever happened to you? Where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do all the things, and then you start to do it, you make this big splash, and then you don't get to finish. Did you really count the cost? I know that is a word even for me in this season, because I've done things, I've started stuff and haven't finished it. I've started things and blew it up and all that kind of stuff, and then people are looking at me, well, didn't you say you was gonna do that thing? What happened? Well, one thing that I knew I messed up in is that I didn't truly count the cost. I didn't evaluate. I did not evaluate my plans or my goals, the progress, all those different things. Because evaluating is so key in making sure you get to flourish in the thing that you desire to do. You have to evaluate in regular intervals in your life. And I'm actually going to bring back an acronym that I've talked about in past videos, okay? And it is the Be Rare acronym, okay? It is so important that, I just pulled it back out because I was like, this is actually perfect for this whole evaluation thing, okay? So Be Rare stands for always be reviewing, activating, rewarding, and examining for next steps. To be rare, you must always be reviewing, activating, rewarding, and examining. Okay? So I'm not going to go through all 4 of them because I've actually done this a couple of times already. I have a previous video that I've done on it, and I'll put the card wherever those cards go. I'll also put the link below. And I actually have a blog on that. If you didn't know, I do have a blog as well. I have a few good things on there. I haven't been updating as much because I've been focusing on YouTube, but we'll see some changes coming up with that soon. But if you want to read a little bit more about the Be Rare acronym, go ahead and hit that blog up too. The link will be down below. But anyway, we're going to focus on reviewing and examining today, okay? So, we're just going to break these down, and I'm going to give you a little bit more on how to truly review and how to truly examine the things that you're doing, be it goals, be it routines, be it your whole life. That's what we're going to do, okay? So let's get into it. Review. You must review regularly, okay? You can't just make up a goal and just be like, it's going to happen because I wrote it down. No. You got to write it down, and you got to have a plan. You know, it's so funny. My pastor actually preached a message 2 weeks ago now about exactly that. How a dream is a wish unless it has a plan, or a vision, actually. I'm the one who uses the word dream, but he said vision. That a vision is just a fantasy without a plan, right? And that plan should honestly include regular evaluation points. Okay, so let's break into it. What does that mean to actually review regularly? It means several things. It means reviewing daily. You should be reviewing your goals or whatever is important to you really quickly every single day. This is probably more of just like a little read through of your goals. Maybe you look at your day and see, okay, I know I said I wanted to do X today. Did I at least get that thing done, right? Shouldn't take you more than like 10 minutes to do. You're reviewing, making sure that you're ready for the next day, okay? Then we have weekly reviews. Now, I do these every week because it's important that you do it. This is where you go a little bit deeper. It may take a little bit longer, maybe a half hour, depending on how deeply you want to go. But you should be reviewing those goals. You should be seeing how far you got this week. So for instance, you may have said, okay, I have this goal to, I don't know, write a book. And for this week, I was supposed to write 1,000 words. Well, how far did you get? That's the type of thing that you should be doing in a weekly review. Also, you should be establishing at least 3 smaller focuses that you can work on for the next week. Typically, when you have your goals and you have your things, your goals should take more than a day or a week to do, right? So you gotta keep chipping at it every single week. So every week, figure out 3 smaller things that you can do to push yourself forward in the goals that you have set up. And then a bonus or a good thing that you should do is to prep for your week ahead. What are some things that you need to do? Do you have meetings that you need to prepare for? Are there certain things that you need to hit the ground running with on Monday or whatever day you start your week? Like, those are the types of questions that you should be asking yourself. So for me, I actually have a printed planner. It's actually the Full Focus Planner by Michael Hyatt & Co. And it's amazing, by the way. I love that thing. But one thing that they do is that they have a little agenda for every day. And I actually, which helps me kind of feel a little bit more in control of my week, I actually go through my work calendar and put those meetings that are on my work calendar into that daily agenda. So I can see, okay, this is what my week is looking like. This is what my day is looking like. And every day I review that, okay? Every week I do a deep dive, but every day, daily, I kind of like look through, okay, what's happening tomorrow type of thing, okay? Then monthly. Now, I'll be honest, I don't typically do a monthly one because I feel like for me, the weekly reviews are pretty sufficient, right? But sometimes having a monthly check-in with yourself is actually a really good thing to do, right? In those reviews, you should be maybe taking a little bit more time with your goals, seeing, okay, what was the progress in the last 4 weeks? Did I make good progress? Do I need to adjust my goal? Maybe you have a goal to hit a certain weight in, I don't know, squats or something like that. Perhaps, you maybe injured yourself or you went on vacation and you couldn't do your repetitions like you wanted to do, right? So now is the time to look and see, do I need to change up what I'm going to do the next month? How do I adjust to make sure that I still hit my goals? Then quarterly. Okay, quarterly is the business. This is the time where you take a little bit more time. I typically take at least a half a day. Typically, I kind of take this as an excuse to go somewhere, to have a staycation, or just to take a 3-day weekend to rest, but then also to really think about what I'm going to be doing in the next quarter. And this is when you would be doing that. You'll be taking your time to look at your goals. And if you do your goals in the way that I teach, you should be wrapping up a set of goals and starting up a new set of goals in that time, right? So you should be looking, okay, did I hit the goal? Did I not hit the goal? What do I need to do differently in this new quarter? Do I have new goals that I wanted to start in this new quarter, right? This time you should also be looking at your life plan. If you have a life plan, I recommend it. You should do it. If you want anything, I actually have a video on life planning, and of course I can help out with that if you want. But this is when you take a moment to look at your life plan to see, is this still what I see for myself in the 6 major areas of my life? Is this where I want to be? Are these goals still making sense for my life? If you didn't hit some of your goals, is this a goal that you want to recommit to in the next quarter? The quarterly review is a little bit more in-depth time with yourself and with those goals and desires that you have for your heart. I actually have a quarterly review workbook, so go ahead, check it out if you would like. But definitely that is the main thing about a quarterly goal. I was about to quarterly review. I was about to say quarterly retreat. You should do quarterly retreats. But anyway, that's the main thing of a quarterly review. You're taking time to look at your last 3 months. What did I do awesome? Did I hit all the goals I wanted to? And then you're looking forward to another 3 months. What are the big goals that I want to see hit in those 3 months? What are the big things that I want to do? Do I need to recommit to something, right? And then finally, yearly. Now this is where the big dogs come out, okay? This is where you're looking at your whole year. You're looking at what happened in the year. You're trying to figure out any lessons that you can learn from your whole entire year. If you do life planning and goal setting in the way that I teach, then this would be the time where you're looking at all of the 8 to 10 goals that you had for the year, and you're gonna see what happened this year. Did I have to change up something? What did I need to change? How did I need to change it? You're asking yourself where you are in your life plan, because your life plan has those end dreams that are really big that you're always pushing towards. So you want to evaluate your year to see how far you got in those big hairy things that you're desiring in your life, right? This is the time where you take a little bit more time. I typically try to spend some time away at this time, and I usually try to save up my leave so that I have like a good 2 weeks of literally just enjoying family and also doing this yearly review. I know everybody can't do that, but what I do encourage you to do is to take at least a day. Take at least a day or two to really rest, reset, and make sure that you are ready and rearing for another year. Okay? So we do all of that, and then, so when you're doing all these quarterly reviews, these daily reviews, these weekly, and all these other different types of reviews, what are the questions that you should be asking? What are the things that you should be doing? I break it down in my quarterly review, but here's a couple of general questions that you truly should be asking yourself when you take a moment to review at any interval, okay? You should be asking, what did I want to happen? So what was that goal? What was that thing that you were desiring, right? And then, what actually happened? Did you make the goal? Did you not? What happened there? And then that third question is, why did it happen? Truly take some time to ask yourself, examine the circumstances around you to figure out why what happened, so that you can figure out how to change that or heal that or move forward in it. And then the final thing is, what should I change? What should I be doing so that I can continue to move forward on that intentional living journey, so that I can continue to progress towards those life principles that I laid out in my life plan, or those goals that I've desired to hit, right? Those are the 4 main questions that you should be asking as you examine yourself throughout your reviews. Okay, so again, I broke down the first R and the E in the Be Rare acronym today. And you know what, I was actually just kind of thinking about it, and I wanted to like share with you, like, I actually went through doing all of this recently. So a couple of weeks ago, again, I was looking at my routines, and I have like this one goal that, if you keep watching my videos, you're gonna see I had this goal for a minute, but it is what it is. We're gonna keep pushing at it because I really believe in it. Anyway, I really wanted to be better at running, right? And if you follow me for long, you knew that I had a knee injury and all that kind of stuff. It is what it is. But anyway, I realized that I was starting to kind of like be stagnant in it. Like, I didn't see any progress in strengthening my knee and getting it to where it needed to go. And I started to feel a little stagnant in my prayer life. So I started to ask myself the same questions that I told you to ask yourself. You know, I asked myself, what did I want happen? What did happen? Why did it happen? And what should I change? So what happened? I was kind of walking every other day, maybe sometimes in the mornings when I pray, I would pray with fervor, but then sometimes I wouldn't. What did I want to happen? I wanted to be praying hard every single morning, and I wanted to be working on building my strength every single day. That's not what happened. So then I looked into why did it happen. Well, I started to get kind of bored with the routine that I had. The routine that I had allowed me to stay in my bed a little bit longer than I should. There were so many different reasons that I thought about as I was evaluating that. So then I was like, okay, well, what should I change? So I looked at it, and I looked at what my routine looked like. I looked at my dream week, and I realized that maybe I can put prayer and walking together. And for the last 3 weeks, or 4 weeks now, actually, because I started in mid-September, so it might be like 5 weeks by the time this video airs. But ever since then, except for when I was out in another state for a work conference, I literally have been walking and praying every single morning. And it has been mind-blowing, life-changing, all of the things. And I'm excited to see what it's going to continue to be, right? So this new quarter, I've taken a step further, and I'm like, okay, we're going to keep walking all of October, and then November we're going to start actually doing serious training, right? So like, I've been starting to plan and think about what exactly I'm going to do. This is the power of evaluation. This is the power of taking time to really see, is what I'm doing making sense? Is what I'm doing making any progress in my life? And if it isn't, let me do something about it. So I encourage you to do the same thing, right? Take a moment and start to look at your life at how you can review regularly, right? And ask yourself those hard questions so that you can move forward and grow. Okay? I want you so much to live this intentional life, to truly walk on this journey and see the desires of your heart. And this is another way to do it. Evaluate your life. All right. So if this was good for you, if you liked it, go ahead and subscribe. Tell a friend about it. Please tell a friend about it. Don't be selfish. Okay. Like, if this is something that helped you out, go on, tell somebody. All right. But anyway, you guys go ahead and have an awesome day wherever you are.